Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending upon where you are in the world. I am Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge the Unseen, and this is Table Talk Thursdays tonight. So, as I'm setting up here and waiting for all of you to show up, I'm pulling everything up on my tablet. Facebook no longer lets us see comments on the laptop. They like to play around with things. So I'm going to be looking down some here and there to look at my comments. And I know that Facebook is lagging behind. Hi, Jen. It's you, my one viewer right now. Let's have a party. Oh, there we go. People are starting to jump on. Facebook is just lagging our lives. It's just unbelievable. So, hi, June, and hi, Brandy. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jen. Robin, Thursday evenings are my Table Talk Thursdays. I hope you'll stay with us. Tonight's topic is the Akashic Records. And Table Talk Thursdays is every week at this time, and we pick a different metaphysical, inspirational, or spiritual topic. And we have an interactive conversation about it. I teach a little bit. You guys ask me questions. You teach me things. So, Robin, I hope that you will join us then. And just keep in mind, my regular psychic mini reading lives are on Wednesdays, but I do pop on. You were right to get on because I do pop on last minute lives to do psychic mini readings also. So, hi, Nellie. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Okay, Robin. Thank you. Thank you. So, as I'm waiting for a few more people to show up, just say hi when you arrive and let me know you're here. And tonight's topic, like I said, is the Akashic Records. And so I'm wondering, the way I kind of want to start this, hi Linda Lou, is I'd like to know through your comments what you know of the Akashic Records or what you think they are. Before I start talking about them some, I kind of want to have an idea of where you guys are at with it. I've worked a little bit with Akashic Records. Don't let me forget to tell you a story about it from my experience. You're welcome, Linda Lou. Hi, Jeremy. Welcome, welcome. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know, like I said, Facebook, I don't know. Everybody say prayers that Facebook clears up the mess that they're doing with lives. It's kind of frustrating. You build your business and you build to a certain level and you want to continue to build, and then it kind of just drops because they're keeping their thumbs on it. Hi, Opal. Oh, thank you so much for sharing this, Opal. And yes, if all of you would share it to your timeline in any groups, that would be great. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Akashic Records. I'm waiting to see what any of you, if any of you are going to comment about what you believe they are. That's really what I want to know. There's no right or wrong answer. Remember, everything is ethereal, and so it's not necessarily that on the physical plane we're gonna be able to prove, if you will. Hi, Joshua. Welcome, welcome. How can we get a reading? Well, Joshua, this evening is called Table Talk Thursdays. And what that is every Thursday evening at this time, there's a different topic that we pick, and we have an open interactive forum on it. So I hope you'll stay. This is not psychic mini readings today. Those are regularly on my Wednesdays and other times when I jump on last minute, Joshua. But I hope you'll stay tonight. Maybe you'll have something to contribute to our conversation, or maybe you'll learn something. It's up to you. Love to have you stay, and hopefully I'll see you next time on a psychic mini reading live. All right, June, what is it? Linda says the library of her soul. Jeremy says it's the book of life as stated in the Bible. Opal says, I don't know, but I would love to hear. Awesome, awesome. Oh, Jen said, my uncertain understanding that it is the history of energy for the soul that stores experiences between lifetimes. Hi, Will, welcome. Well, it's really interesting on the different takes that are here. And there's a reason I did that. I have not really taught on the Akashic Records before. I know about them. I've visited them. And again, remind me to tell you about an experience I had with my spirit team, my Akashic Records. But it was interesting. So I did a little bit of research just to see what the general consensus is. And it was very interesting because it's true. All of you, in many ways, are correct in how you're terming what the Akashic records are. And remember, when we talk about these subjects, it's in the ethereal, it's in the metaphysical. And so it's not like, I can take down a book and say, see, it says it right here, right? I mean, we could do our research, but it is all culled from the personal experiences of everybody else. Now, one of the very famous Akashic um, metaphysics that could access the Akashic records was Edgar Casey. So you guys might recognize his name. I know there's a book out about him. I have to be honest, never read it. But I do know about him, and he was called the sleeping. Ooh, and it went out of my head. The sleeping channel? No, I can't remember, but he would go into a deep channel and access the Akashic records. And there are others throughout time that have talked about the Akashic records. And by the way, yes, I do have notes tonight. There were some interesting facts I wanted to make sure I didn't miss sharing with you because I learned some things tonight too. So I was going to get into describing exactly what the Akashic records are before I got into the different people who have are somewhat well known for accessing them. So let's go into that a little bit. The definition as I see it, and it's interesting because I'm going to give you a few different definitions that all are used to describe what the Akashic records are. And by the way, I see more people are showing up, so I'm going to say welcome. Let us know you're here. This is Table Talk Thursdays, and we're talking about the Akashic records this evening. So Linda Lou says, I did a mini numerology report on myself yesterday. 5 life path, love and destiny, and 2 soul urge. Oh, yep, there we go. Hi, Monica. Well, the thing about the Akashic records, yes, it's known as, excuse me, the Book of Life, and that has to do, as Jeremy said, is stated in the Bible. There is the Book of Remembrance, which is under Judaism. They call that the Akashic. The Akashic records are known as that too. I guess you'd almost want to say it's like almost like a supercomputer in some ways. It's a record of each soul's history through the infinite. So it's a collection of universal events, thoughts, words, emotions, and intent that's ever occurred in the past, present, or future in terms of all entities and life forms. So some believe that the Akashic records not just include humans, it could be animals, insects, they're all living entities. Hi, Claudine, and hi, Cassandra. Hi, Claire Smith. Um, it's really what is, and what did happen. Now, some people call it a library of records. Some people dispute it's not a true library. Let me just address Claire here. Hi, Claire from England. I'm so glad you're here this evening. This evening is Table Talk Thursdays. My regular, I hope you will stay. This is not mini psychic readings though this evening. I do that every Wednesday. Plus, I do jump on last minute and do last minute psychic mini reading lives. But this evening is called Table Talk Thursdays, and it's every week. It's an interactive forum, and we share experiences, ideas. You get to ask me questions, and on different topics every week. We pick a topic, and tonight is the Akashic Records. So Claire from England, I hope you'll stay with us some. And by the way, if you're new to me, go ahead and like and follow my Elyse Ann Psychic page. You'll get notifications of when I go live. And make sure your notifications are set at favorites. And every week, if you have a topic you want to know about, I ask you guys every week. And not too forthcoming, you guys. You leave me and my spirit team to decide it, which is fine. But again, I'm here for you. This is my way of giving back. And so I'm here for you. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about? Okay, okay, Claire Good luck with your amazing work. Thank you, sweetheart. Well, hopefully you'll stay for a little bit, and if not, hopefully I'll see you again soon. All right. So, um, like I said, it's been called the Book of Life, Book of Remembrance. But what's interesting when they call it Book of Remembrance, if you think about it, though, it's exactly what's happening now. It includes not just the past; it's the past, now, the present, and the future. All right. Now, let's talk about the dimension. Let's talk about the Akashic Records. It's actually comes from a Sanskrit word, Akasha, which is, there too. It's been defined as a couple different things. There's a couple different definitions. Um, it's a higher dimension. Some people call it as a dimension. And some people, like I said, call it a library, like it's books, but it's not necessarily books. I think that's the visual a lot of us get or have. I know that's the way I've been told it is. What that's what I've been told it is a library of books. However, there's a couple different ways that it's been described. Okay. Now, the actual definition for Sanskrit, Akasha, excuse me, the actual Sanskrit definition for Akasha is a word that means ether. Now you know why I have notes, okay? Ether, primary or primordial substance out of which everything is formed. So that's um, a very scientific way of wording it, almost, if you will. Um, some people call it astral light. Some people said tablets of light. There's several other different ways. Let me look. I have a couple comments here, so let me take a look. Numerology for next week. Sure, Linda Lou, we can do that. What I will tell you, out of honesty, is I'm not a numerologist, but I do have information about numbers and how they affect. We can have a great time with that one. I can. It's already getting together in my head. So yeah, let's do numerology next week. I'm going to make a note right now for myself so I don't forget. So let me just write that down. My pen will cooperate. It's starting to lose some ink. Numerology for next week. Sure, that would be a fun one. All right. So Jen says, "Oh, there is this metaphor for how our lives look from the outside. Someone told me it is kind of like a movie that we can only watch in forward motion. But outside this reality is like a film in the can where all the moments exist all at one time." I would go with that in many ways. It all exists in one time. Multidimensional. Some people do believe that, some people do believe, sorry, I got distracted by a comment, um, that the quantum physics actually has proven this too. It's not just some people believe it's also um um so sorry, a continuum that the past, the present, and the future is all existing at one time. So thank you. I knew I'd get my thoughts together. So Jen, I would say that yeah, I agree with that. And some people do say it's more like a movie. Some people say it's more like a book. Now, Opal, how do you apply this to yourself and what it means individually? That is great. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. Linda Lou, I love that you took notes. It shows you're interested in understanding the topic at hand. I'm very big on that. I'd rather kind of read it to you so that I get it correct than give misinformation. So thank you. I'm really glad for that comment too. Thanks so much. Interesting. Yes, Joshua, it is very interesting. It's an amazing, amazing place, I guess you would almost say, or existence. I'm going to say existence. Hi, Angie. Welcome. Good to see you too. So again, it's interesting because as I'm doing a little research, everybody has this a little different way of saying it. Because I don't just go to one place. I look in a lot of different places just to get a feel for what the consensus might be. And this, I like the way this was written. Contains the entire history of every soul since the dawn of creation. It's an energetic archive of souls' past, present, and future possibilities. I read that and I thought that's perfect. To me, that's perfect. Now, maybe it doesn't resonate with you as much, which is fine. But for me, I found that to be just absolutely all encapsulating, because that is the truth. It's the entire history. And Opal, I am gonna, how does it apply and everything else? We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. So, and it does include every deed, every word, every action, every thought. Some people believe it's just actions, but it's not. It's all of that. And the intent, okay, is also really part of that. Now, the interesting thing, hi Sandra, welcome. My team likes it. Chills. Very cool. Yeah, yeah, I love the way that's written. Um, you know, so some people, again, they describe it in so many different words, and some people believe that there's judgment, okay, involved in this. That they're, you're when you look at your Akashic record, or the Akashic Records as a collective. Some people think it has to do with judgment, because the Akashic Records are in the space with karma. Okay. And we're going to get into that in a minute too. It's ever changing. The Akashic Records are ever changing. Now, it's about your present and your future, of course. The past is the past. And hi, Angel Heart, good to see you too. Thank you for joining us. And so, okay, I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself here. Let me just explain it and see if I am. I'm not sure. So, as we go through life, karma is about, what goes around comes around. For every action, deed, thought, word, that you put out, you'll receive in kind. And so there's a karmic, balancing, if you will. So depending on your own choices, your own free will, and your own choices at any given moment, the Akashic records can shift some, because it's all based on the possibilities. All right. So I hope that made sense. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the effects of the Akashic records, and how, Opal's question, I still have it. How do you apply it to yourself? And what it means individually. I am going to get into that. I know in here I'll talk about karma a little bit more. So, first of all, the Akashic records, if it's all of eternity, all life form, then it connects every one of us to each other, right? We're all part of that huge library, if you want to call it that, right? And it's where inspiration for dreams and inventions sit. It has to do with how we draw and repel each other. It's almost like, oh, good question, Jen. I'll get to that in a minute. It molds and shapes human consciousness. And the reason this all exists, it's an attempt to guide and educate and transform each soul to become the best they can. And it's all tied in, if you think about it. It's enlightenment, right? That's what enlightenment is. So we're here on this planet to grow and enlighten, right? To become the best we can be. Um, oh, here, I wrote it down the way I love this too. I wrote this down because I thought, wow, I like the way they say it. An ever change. This is what I saw for the Akashic records too. An ever changing array of possible futures that are called into potential as we interact and respond to life's circumstances. Uh, exactly. So those two that I told you about, I really love the way that's written, because I think it's all encompassing and it's true. It's the potential. It's all the potential, but it's shifting depending on how we react, how we act, and so forth. So, we write our own life story, and it's done through our thoughts, deeds, interactions with the rest of creation. I mean, that's manifesting. It's all just this intricate world, I guess, or web of how this all ties in. Some of the other topics we talked about, soul contracts, it all is kind of on a continuum flow, I almost want to say. Jen says, does each universe have its own copy? That is a fabulous question. And if I were to give an educated guess, because that's what this is going to be, an educated answer, I should say. It's not really a guess, it's an educated answer. I would say yes, absolutely. Because the Akashic Records, it's all about energy, it's all about beings, and everything is energy. And if we truly think that we're alone in this universe, okay, anyhow, that's a whole nother topic. So I would have to say yes, Jen. I would think that every universe has its own Akashic records. Um, that they manage, if you will. So good question. I like that. All right. Okay, so Opal asks, how does this apply to us and what it means individually? So if this, it's a multidimensional library, right? And it has all the info and wisdom pertaining to each and every soul. It's ever incarnated, okay? And again, they're talking about it's in light, or it's decoded in light, it's tablet of light, it's astral, okay? And so it's a hall of records. Some know it as a hall of records. And how does it apply to us? Well, it allows us an opportunity to look at past lives, our present, and possibly our future to make some decisions if we choose to shift things, or if there's karma sitting there that we may want to address. And it's definitely a non-judgmental place of love and compassion. Okay. And so is karma. Karma isn't, bad or good, but there are two sides of the scale. One negative, one positive. I think that's a less judgmental way of putting it. But we can, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit about how maybe we can access the Akashic records. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But we can look at our past lives in the Akashic records and see, is there unfinished business? Maybe that's what's affecting us in this lifetime. Or is there pending lessons that we have yet to learn in this lifetime? Again, it's on a continuum. Some people say it's all happening at the same time. But to access the Akashic records, it gives us a glimpse in an understanding of our nature, how we may what maybe motivates us to act in a certain way, or what have we. There could be past traumas that we're reliving to heal in this lifetime. By having some background, we can understand that maybe there's a pattern here and look at it a little more closely and see what we can do to complete that lesson, if you will. Let me look. I have a few more comments here. Joshua, great topic. Thank you. Yes, yes. It's great. You guys gave me that topic. I'm loving it. Okay, Linda Lou says, interesting. I commented on another post today that asked, what would you do if you could not fail? My answer was, I do not fail. If I meet with an obstacle, I simply find a way through or around it. I love that, Linda Lou, because there is no failure. I don't know if any of you have heard me say it, and I have posted, I have a post that I've done. And it's about, I don't believe in mistakes. I just believe in opportunities. And it's true, think about this. I'm gonna veer off slightly here. But unfortunately, and this is something I'm very passionate about. What would you do if you could not fail? If you look at society in general, we're conditioned from the moment we're born. Well, actually in utero, because we can sense, we can feel, we can hear, so we get the vibration of words and things. But if you look at it, society is pretty negatively based, right? And we're so conditioned to look at things from success and failure spot instead of opportunities. So I really love that you said that, because we don't fail. We just continue to move forward and ascend and grow and enlighten and understand, oh, next time maybe I do it a different way, right? So, infinite possibilities. Yes. Hi, Mabel. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let me see here. Sherry asks, how is it a hall of records if it is present and future? Well, that's what we're talking about a little bit. Quantum physics, this goes back a little bit. It's Down the Rabbit Hole. It's a movie that came out, I don't know, I want to say about a decade ago, maybe a little longer, but it talked about quantum physics. It was a movie all about quantum physics. In quantum physics, they have come to the conclusion that multiple dimensions are happening all at the same time. And so that's how I would answer that to you, Sherry. It's all kind of happening on the, and it's difficult to kind of understand, um, but it's a very multidimensional universe we live in. And then some of you might say, hey, well, how can that be if how can that be? Sorry, again, I got a little distracted. The comments fly by as I'm looking down and it catches my attention. Because how can the multidimensional dimensions exist? So I've kind of wondered that myself years and years and years and years and years ago. Because I had an experience when I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. I'll never forget it. It was before I really understood completely who I was and what was happening and the fact that I'm very psychically connected. And it was really interesting because I was sitting in English class. I'll never forget it. And I just knew, with no doubt, I just knew it was like someone was sitting in the same space that I was sitting in. Couldn't see them, couldn't feel them, but I just knew we were. And so I realized, oh, here come the chills. Ooh, I realized it's because we were in the same space, but different dimensions. Every dimension vibrates at a different frequency, and that's how they can exist within the same space. Little mind boggling there. You might need to wrap your head around that. But Sherry, yeah, that's how it is because it all many people believe that it's all on the same continuum and in the same but because of the different vibrations, it's just kind of like certain vibrations the naked eye can't see, right? We can't see other vibrations we can actually see, but they can exist in the same exact space. Radio waves can exist in the same place that maybe an earthquake's happening, but you're going to be able to see the earth go up and down, but you're not necessarily going to be able to see the radio waves. I hope that made sense. So, all right, so let me see here. I hope that helped you, Sherry, with that answer. Mabel, yes, infinite possibilities. Yes, yes, yes. Jen, so can I go up there and see which of my harebrained schemes is most likely to actually work? Jen, you make me laugh. Um, well, okay, good question. Very good question. Because yes, you can. However, um, the Akashic Records are possibly made accessible. Um, the let me rephrase that. The information that is accessible in the Akashic Records are going to be the information that is pertinent and most helpful for you to receive if you do access the records. So, in other words, you're not going to be able to just read through it, for 5 hours and see what your life is going to be like. You're going to have access. You're going to be allowed access to certain pieces that's going to be imperative for your growth. Okay. So, the Akashic Records are guarded by very large, powerful beings of light. They've never been human beings, but they're just being of lights. And so it's to make sure that the sacredness and the sanctity of the records are protected and kept. And why do I say that? So you may say, well, why? Well, because of the fact of what it is, first of all. I mean, it's a total, it's a whole, all of creation, right? So there's different energies that do exist. So they're there to guard it, just so, I guess, to be very human about it, nothing nefarious can slip in. I guess that's the way I would say it. So, all right. Linda Lou, failure is just a judgment upon yourself and will stop you in your tracks of moving forward one step at a time. Absolutely. Oh, Mabel, deja vu, alignment. All right. Linda Lou, think of your life as a matrix of living that you create yourself based only on your individual perceptions and unlike any other person's matrix of living. Linda Lou says, I had chills too, Elyse. I like that. That's a good way of putting it, the Matrix. Never thought about that one. I guess I could have. Um, no, it's a really good way. You know, the thing about a lot of this stuff, metaphysical, one of the things that I know for myself, even though I've been doing this 20 years professionally, and I've had psychic experiences my whole life from a very, 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 very little itty bitty. Um, Sometimes it's just really hard to wrap our human minds around it. And I know for myself too. Sometimes when I do research or I'm reading about things, I'm like, well, how does A connect with B and connect with C? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to sit with that one for a little bit. So it's okay, and you can take away at any time from any of this, what resonates for you, right? So, that's what I love about this and the exchange of ideas too. I just absolutely love. Okay. So Joshua, how can I grow instead of being mindless? I feel so empty sometimes with zero purpose. What can I do and teach my family? Hi, Sally. Welcome. Joshua says, just looking forward towards growth and expanding my children's mind. Okay, Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Check out David Dida work, The Way of the Superior Man. Thank you for that, Jacqueline. Joshua, you are growing, whether you realize it or not. Um, who you are today is not who you were yesterday. So even let's say without trying hard or trying at all, we grow. Okay, and our experiences in life shift us and change us. Our perspective changes. Um, so we always have a purpose. We may not know it in the moment, but we always have a purpose. And when it comes to your family, sweetheart, just be the best person you can be, and you're teaching them right there and then. Okay, you can teach them kindness, morality, values, live and let live. I mean, there's a lot of things. So don't, I just want to offer to you, sweetheart, please don't necessarily be so hard on yourself. You'll find your way. All right. So let me take a look here. Sally, what day are you doing readings next? Okay. So I do last minute psychic mini reading lives. So Sally, I hope I hope that you are following and liking my Elyse Ann Psychic page and you have your notifications set to favorites so that you get notifications when I go live. I do them here and there whenever I'm guided to, but my regularly scheduled weekly psychic mini reading live events are on Wednesdays. All right, but I hope you'll stay with us, Sally. And who knows? I don't know if when I'm going to pop on live. This week has been a little busy, getting busier with clients, private clients, and so forth. So it's fitting it in amongst everything I need to do and take care of my business and so forth. So I don't know if I'm going to go on again this week for a mini psychic reading live. I might. I don't know. So. All right, so Mabel answers Joshua, start with finding your growth and purpose. Yeah, no, that's true, Mabel. I think he's having a bit of a hard time finding that. But you know what, Joshua, just take every day one step at a time. All right. Okay. You'll get there. Don't push yourself so hard. Perfectionism is something that I used to be and perfectionist, and I've learned to Just relax. It is what it is. Okay, sweetheart. All right. So let me go back to my notes here. Um, okay. So, Opal, going a little bit back to your question too about how does it help us individually? It does. If we access it, it can be a pathway to more enlightenment for ourselves, evolution, as a whole and individually. So earlier I mentioned Edgar Casey and the sleeping channel, I think they called him. I can't remember, like I said. And good question, Mabel. I'll get to that in a minute. And then decades later, there was and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Theosophist. Okay, Helena Blavatsky. She called it an she accessed it and called it indestructible. All right, let's try it one more time. Indestructible. There we go. Tablets of the astral light. So very cool. Some people have recorded what they have experienced, and then the quantum physicist. Boy, I'm having an issue tonight with my words, huh? Quantum physicist. We just talked about quantum physics. Irvin Laszlo, excuse me. He described it as an electromagnetic imprint of everything that's ever happened in the universe. I like that, right? And then also, some people call it a vibrational filing system, which is what we're talking about. How can multi dimensions, it's a vibration, the frequency, right? So, again, it has every thought, word, deed, action, intent from the beginning of time, from the very, very, very beginning. And it translates directly into the possibilities for ourselves. Okay. So, here's where I want to talk about karma just a little bit. With Akashic Records, is it something we can all access? Okay, I'm going to talk about that as we go on. That's kind of where I'm going to probably start to wrap up with is that piece of it, Mabel. So hold tight. And if for some reason I forget, please remind me. Um, so, like I said earlier, the Akashic Records are, I just want to call it fluid. Okay, they're not set in stone. They're not stagnant. They're ever evolving due to karma, right? If we've gotten this, our records show that we have karma that we have to clear, right? And depending upon whether we clear it right away or it takes us a while to clear, it can affect the possibilities of what happens in our now and in our future, right? So, you know, um, karma plays a part in our lives. It's it's a cause and effect, really, is what the concept is. It's a cause and effect. For every action, there's an equal reaction. All right. So part of why we might want to access the records, the Akashic records, is to look at and see, or is there karmic debts or blockages, right? Or patterns that we're still manifesting in this lifetime that we haven't quite healed yet. And so that's another reason to go in there. It's to help with the growth. It's help with the evolving, the ascension. That's what it's all about, to learn about. And so Jen asks, is the Akashic record the way past life regression is done? Um, Good question, Jen. And how I want to answer that is this: I do past life regression with people. First of all, I can read into past lives. I do readings of past lives, but I've also done it where I've actually regressed clients. I've taken them back. It's not hypnotherapy. I don't do hypnotherapy. Not licensed, but I have a way of just working with them to kind of get them into that space. So what I want to say is, I can't say that that's the way I specifically do it. However, there's conflicting opinions on some of this. And so uh, I'm actually going to get into that in just a moment. Okay, we'll talk about that, how to access what people, their thoughts about it, or what, some, I don't know if I want to call them experts, but, how people kind of look at this and what they think of it. So again, we can, the Akashic records are also, what's our unfinished business, right? It's all in there, everything. It's all in there. So the reason to access it is for growth, to heal things, to move through things, so we don't have to repeat the patterns another lifetime. Linda Lou says it's like tools in the toolbox for the soul. I like that. It's exactly correct. We can access it um, as tools to help grow our soul. Okay, and we can see opportunities and possibilities. So, um, so again, though, I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not a judgmental. This is all non-judgmental. The records, the Akashic records. There's no judgment. There's no bias. There's no. There just is, if you will. It's all love and compassion. That's all. All the universe is love. That's all that truly exists. So again, it's direction, just like Linda Lou said, it's direction. It offers opportunity for growth and direction for the soul's advancement. That's really what the Akashic records are about. So um, why do we access them? Well, first of all, somebody asked here, is it something, Mabel asked, is it something we can all access? There's different thoughts on that. There was a time that people believed that the only way to access it is if you were very enlightened or more on the spiritual path. But as humankind in general has become more and more enlightened, more and more people can access those records. Okay. Doesn't make it less safe. It just means they're vibrating at such a frequency that they're a match. Well, their energy, their frequency is a match enough that they are allowed access. Okay. Which means they're higher vibrations, is what I'm trying to say. Hi, Tracy. Welcome. So to access to we access it to give us a lot of wisdom on challenges and issues we may be having in this lifetime, right? Um, and so give me 1 second, everyone. Chastity, hello. I've gained and lost so much, and I've been through physical, mental, emotional relationships in the past, and how I feel so numb and wanted some advice. Tracy, please help me. Okay. Tracy and Chastity, hi. I'm so glad you're joining us this evening. However, this evening is Table Talk Thursdays. I hope you'll stay. We're finishing up in the next 15 minutes, but we're talking about the Akashic Records. Every Thursday, I do this Table Talk Thursday Live. We pick a different topic and we share information. You guys get to ask me questions and we just have a fun interactive forum here. So this evening is not psychic mini readings. I hope that you're following and liking my page and having your notifications set at favorites so that you do receive my notifications of when I do my psychic mini reading lives also. I have a regularly weekly scheduled one on Wednesdays, and then I jump on during, all during the week, the weekend, and just do lives here and there, depending on how my spirit team guides me. All right, so I'm really glad you're joining us this evening. We're talking about the Akashic Records. All right. There are different ways that we can access the Akashic Records. Now, some people believe it takes many, many times to be able to access them. So I don't know if you want to call. I heard the word initiation. It's not really true, but that's kind of the way Spirit would like to explain it. When it's energy and it's in a multidimensional space, and I'm using 3D world dimensional, 3D dimensional words to describe it. Sometimes translation is a little different. So higher self agreements. I like that, Mabel. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Very cool. Very cool. So some people have said that, trans channeling can access the Akashic records. Meditation, if you want to try it for yourself. Just don't be frustrated because, again, some people can access it pretty quickly and other people, not really sure why. Some of it's just maybe the stage that you're particularly in for yourself, your belief system, your evolve, how far you've evolved in your spiritual growth. It's not to say, oh, if you can't access it, oh, you're not evolved. No, we're not saying that. Not at all. But your spirit team knows what is appropriate for you to access and what isn't. It's the same when I do psychic readings for any of you. Spirit knows what you need to hear at the time. And so that's the information that comes through. It's the same thing. If your spirit team feels you're ready and it's appropriate, then you'll have access. If again, too, if you find so you're frustrated, you can't, don't worry about it. It doesn't make you any less. All right. Can always work with a psychic or somebody, work on building your own meditation deeper and deeper and see if you can access it. There's also sacred prayer that some people do. I almost want to say I heard the word chanting too. It's a vibrational thing. Breathing techniques. There's all different ways you can access it. As more souls have been enlightened, more souls can access it. So, let me see here. So, Sarah, hi, Sarah. Karma. Yeah, we talked about karma. Natalie, meditation is good, works well for me. Cool. Sherry, what does it look like to have access? All right, I'll answer that in a minute. Oh, what does access look like? All right, what I want to say is, seeing in the beginning when I talked about, or somewhere along the live here today, I talked about how different people have different takes on it and what they call it. Indestructible tablets of light. Some do call it a hall of records. Some see it maybe as books. I believe it's very, very individual. Okay. So I can't say that this is what it looks like. I know I've done meditations in some of the workshops that I've done where we access the Akashic Records, the temple, the Hall of Records. But again, that's a visualization just to bring you into the energy. So what does it look like? You know, I think I'll segue into an experience I had probably several months ago. Hi, Allison. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this one because I find it very interesting. I'm glad. Very cool. Yeah, this is always posted on my page. Once we are done, it'll be up there and you can rewatch it. Just let me know that you're rewatching it. It's always fun to know that. So if you remember to put it in the comments, replay or whatever, rewatch. So I have to say, Sherry, I had an experience, I don't know, 3, 4 months ago. It's quite interesting. Spirit. Oh, let me see what Linda Lou says before I get into my experience. I had a very simple glimpse on Tuesday night. It was like an introduction. Then one slide of a blonde-haired, fair-skinned man kept running before me over and over again. Huh, isn't that interesting? Well, somebody was in a hurry, huh? Claudine, I definitely want to rewatch too. Cool. Okay, so this is the experience I had. Now remember, I've been working in this realm my whole life and professionally for 20 years plus. I've gone through a lot of growth and ascension and enlightenment and more to go. But I actually had an experience during awake time. And thank you, Natalie. You'll watch it too. Cool. Um, I lost time. It happened for about 4 hours on a Saturday afternoon. And I was brought to the Akashic Records. And well, first of all, it was quite an interesting experience because I wasn't sure what was going on, to be honest. As a human being, it's a little harrowing to be here and then not. And then 20 minutes later, you're back and you're like, what just happened? Mine is a little extreme. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you. Okay. They did it this way because they knew that I could handle it. Okay. Anyhow, I beg to differ just a little bit, but I did. I handled it. It was a moment in time where this is my purpose in this lifetime. And I'm human and I know this is my purpose and I love it. And I think that when it happened, I was just struggling a little bit. Am I really going to reach my purpose? Is it really going to be where I want it to be? Am I going to get out there to as many people as I want to? Is my business going to grow? I was kind of in that space. And Spirit decided to show me. So out I went. And to be honest, when I was taken there, I didn't see anything. Okay. I didn't realize till I think it was the fourth time I was coming back and there's no one that was in it here with me. Okay. I was alone, living here alone. And I heard some voices. I have no clue what they said. And as I was coming back after that fourth time, they took me way out. And they told me finally that they had taken me to the Akashic Records. And I went, makes sense. I don't remember any visual, but I know they were talking to me the whole time. Now, maybe I did have a visual and I just don't remember it. See, I'm a firm believer and complete trust in my spirit team to protect me and to shield me and to make sure that I'm safe. Elyse Ann human being also, not just my soul. Okay. And so it, you know, I thought, wow, wouldn't it have been cool to see things? But they took me there and had me experience it the way I needed to experience it. And I got what I needed out of it. So that's my story. I'll finish the story by saying after 4 hours of that, finally coming back, trying to figure out, I have to admit, as much as I've done this, as a human being, I was a little freaked out. Like, what's happening? What? Is this a medical situation? I didn't know. So I ended up going to sleep, back to sleep, and I slept for like 4 hours, and so it was I know they assimilated what I needed to know. And so I don't know exactly. Hi, Martha. Welcome. I don't know what it looks like. I've seen visions just in like meditations where I'll visualize something, but that's why, Sherry, it's a great question. But I think that every individual is going to experience it differently. You may when you check it out, you may actually see certain things. All right. I just know while I was going through it, there was I had no clue. I had no clue. And then it all kind of gelled and came together, once I came back and then I took a nap and then later on it started to gel a little bit more and I heard it loud and clear from my spirit team. We showed you your Akashic records so that you would know your purpose in this lifetime. So they wanted to know this is how it can help. They wanted, well, here come the chills. They wanted to assuage some of my, maybe you'd say human fears and doubts and worry, concern, whatever. It wasn't that deep, but I was tweaking a little bit on, the situation for myself. So I'm so grateful. I was like, wow, I can't believe they did that. I mean, like, wow, how cool is that? So, all right. Um, yeah, it was well, yeah, it's very interesting looking back, but I really have to admit, it was yeah, a little harrowing, maybe. All right. Um, Joshua, let me see. Conversation idea, dark figures taking your breath during sleep. Well, Joshua, that really fits in a little differently from this talk, and I'll think about that one. I don't necessarily lay along the lines of that. I believe in protection and shielding and our team and the white, the vibrational beings. So let me sit with that. I'm not sure that's necessarily exactly how I would tackle it, but I might be able to come up with a topic that would cover some of that idea of the negative and the positive vibrations and energy and so forth. You know what? There you go. I just got it. Negative versus positive. Okay, I'm writing it down. Vibration. I have a lot to say about that one. That would be good. Okay, so Linda Lou says, I felt like a man that kept recurring through the slides was an integral part of my records. Probably was. And if you felt it, then you go with that. Absolutely. So let me see. Wow. Let's see. Okay. Daphne. Hi, Daphne. How do you get your records? Okay. Daphne, honey, I don't know if you're just now. You're welcome, Joshua. I don't know if you're just now showing up because I started talking about that a little bit. But there's ways like meditation, breathing techniques, sacred prayer. There's different ways that you can access it. It's working with your spirit team also, sweetheart. Linda Lou, absolutely yes. Trust your spirit team. As you're ready, they will move you in the direction. Absolutely. I'm just getting in touch with mine again. Another story for another time of where I lost touch. All right, Linda Lou. Love to hear about it at some point. Yeah. I have full trust and faith. They're my business partners. Every day I wake up, if they say do this, I'm like, okay. It's beautiful. It's worked beautifully. They're great business partners, the best. So, oh, you did hear that. Okay, Daphne. Then maybe I'm not sure of your question then. Maybe word it a little bit differently, and let me see if I can sneak it in before we wrap up. Chastity, I've lived in a haunted house before where there was dark and light spirit stayed. Yeah, I think we'll talk about that. I like that. So I have numerology and I have negative versus positive vibration. Um, or energies. I like that topic. Oh gosh, I could probably do a 5 hour thing on that one. Okay. So, Daphne, oh, okay. Can anyone help you get them if you're not good at getting them yourself? Yes, Daphne. There are those that work with Akashic Records that are Akashic Record readers. Okay. So they're out there. I in a way do look at the Akashic Records when I do my readings, but not in the same way of a full blown Akashic reading, Akashic Record reading. So yeah, there are those out there that can help you with that if you feel you can't on your own. So succubus, incubus, another story that I don't know how to explain right now. Okay, Linda Lou. Ah, I don't know either. So it's interesting because as I did some research today, I recognize, and I am going to have to sit with my spirit team because a lot of the work that I do is finding the things that lay on your subconscious that you're not really realizing is getting in your way, blocking you, limiting beliefs, past traumas, past life traumas. So in some ways, I want to say I do access some pieces of the Akashic records. I'm going to sit with my team though and find out how much do I really access because I'm not sure. I may access more than I realize because of the way I do my work. Yeah, I can do the predictive and I'm a medium and all that, but a large part of what I do too is helping people get through their blocks. So, and giving them possibilities and ways to move through them. So, I'm going to sit with my team and maybe find out something new about myself. We'll see. I'm kind of excited about that to see what they say. They'll give me the answer when they're ready. Okay. Curious because I certainly would love help. All right. Sarah, hello. Such an interesting topic so far. Yes, because past life. Yes, Daphne. Well, I can do a private one-on-one with you on that. If you're concerned about what in a past life might be blocking you or some past lives, definitely, if you want to do a private one-on-one, please reach out to me. I've done that with my clients many times. So, all right. So, you guys, we are actually just about at the 8 o'clock hour here in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I am going to wrap up and say, wow, what an interesting topic. I had a lot of fun tonight. It's interesting because as I was thinking about it today, I was like, yeah, some of this information I have seems a little repetitive, and I don't know how I'm going to fill an hour, but you guys are great because we always do, right? Spirits got me, they've got you, my spirit team. It seems like that, right on the hour, we seem to kind of wrap it on up. So, it's really cool, and I learned a lot tonight too. I'm really enjoying it, and I'll keep you posted as to what my spirit team may say. Maybe I do read the Akashic Records and never labeled it that or recognized that. So it'll be interesting to see what spirit might answer me in the next days coming or week or so, whenever they decide. Like I said, I don't push them. When they're ready, they'll drop it right there. They'll tell me. So to everyone that was here this evening, as always, absolutely, absolutely love having you here. I'm so blessed and so fortunate. I have the best participants, the best followers. Just do me a favor and get me out to your people. Let people know about me. Not only, Facebook and my Facebook page. Yes, please invite people there. Let them take advantage of everything I have to offer. I like to give back too. This is how I earn a living. This is my business. This is my purpose. This is what I do to pay my bills, but I absolutely love helping people. It is my purpose in life. And so you'll just be helping me to continue my work. The more people you can send my way. So tell people about me. They can come have a one-on-one session with me. They can be part of the lives. They can just take advantage of my postings, whatever it is. Please share me out to the people that you know. I am looking to grow my numbers very, very large. Okay. So I had 1,000 followers a month and a half ago. I'm already on my way to 1,300. And I'm really, really excited to just continue to see that grow. So the more it grows, the more people I can reach, the more people I can help. So I want to say very, very, very much. Well, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome to all of you. I really so appreciate it. I want to say have a blessed rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. Take really good care of yourselves. Much love, many blessings, and I'll see you all real soon. Mwah. Thank you.